All right, Ian, we have a scumbag
Seller.
of the
Week.
week. And this scumbag of the week is actually a platform. We haven't ever really done this, but we're going to do a little story time on the CU podcast. And the culprit or perpetrator in this case is eBay.
eBay is the scumbag seller.
This
of the
comes
week.
via an engrossing Boston Globe article, right? Which now I cannot access to go through it, but I did read it. It's really good that I can't access the Boston Globe article that is big. No, I can access it. So there was a couple up in Massachusetts that
Ina and David Steiner. And they've been with eBay doing stuff on eBay since its earliest times, since like 1999 is when they started. They were, a couple that had met in college, and they had been computer savvy, and they learned about eBay. And basically, they went around to garage sales, buying up stuff that was, collectible. Basically, these are like the beginnings of internet like collector culture.
sure.
And they would go around to the garage sales, find the things that were maybe underpriced that, would have a market online, and they would sell them off. So they started
First was a paper newsletter.
I think they said they did one issue of a paper newsletter before realizing that it made more sense to do
on the internet.
Do an online newsletter.
Yeah, because it's an online marketplace. So they did an online marketplace with like tips and tricks.
Yes,
to help sellers.
it was called Auction Bites.
Which is a great name, by the way. I think I like that.
And they later changed it to e-commerce bites, I'm guessing to cover, all the areas of e-commerce.
Yeah, like Amazon stuff.
But yeah, they would do like tips, tricks, talk about how to get your listing seen. They would talk about, shipping. They included a story about how, one time, I believe his name was David, shipped, something via Greyhound bus and saved hundreds of dollars by shipping it via Greyhound bus. So they got popular. They were in on the ground floor. They were, big within their online scene. They had this newsletter that people liked, and it's been continuously running since. And over the years, they have certainly covered eBay's changes and policies, and they have not always been they've been fairly critical of some of these changes.
So the change, I guess, the watershed moment that this article points out in the Boston Globe, and by the way, the article is by Aaron Pressman, is that when the CEO, Meg Whitman, left in 2007, was replaced by former Bain consultant John Donahue, said eBay began to cater to larger sellers and established retailers, a trend that continued when Devin Wenig was promoted CEO in 2015. The couple had pivoted their newsletter from how-to tips to reporting more on the changing strategy and new policies of the company. Their take on the new bait was often, though hardly exclusively, critical. And criticism didn't go down well at the firm. Prosecutors, by the way, they're filing a civil suit. And there's also prosecutors going after individuals, which we'll get into, at eBay. There's a civil suit and there's a criminal lawsuit against eBay, which we'll get into why. There's twists and turns of the story. Prosecutors said the harassment campaign against him started with an incident. So basically, this couple was at home.
They published a couple of articles critical of them after Whitman left. Devin Wenig was promoted to CEO. They posted articles specifically criticizing the fact that the CEO is making something like 215 times more than the average.
152 times. They said eBay CEO Devin Wenig earns 152 times that of an employee.
So that's when they started having problems. The first thing that happened to them was they received graffiti on their new fence that said "at Fidomaster," which I guess was they don't know if the person was trying to say, "Hey, you're Fidomaster," or if they thought it was a name from the person.
From an anonymous commenter on their newsletter said.
Yeah, it was a commenter who commented on their critical stuff.
So obviously whoever painted it was familiar with that newsletter to have done that.
Right.
They didn't think it was Fidomaster, that person themselves. Wouldn't make any sense. But they were like, okay, this is weird. But then more stuff happened.
Then they started getting all sorts of junk mail. They got a call from a taxidermist about an order that they did not place. They got a mask in the mail, a bloody pig mask in the mail. At this,
Well,
at
it wasn't
this-
clear if that was a Halloween mask, but it was
Yeah.
it was like a pig mask.
It was a pig mask. I'm assuming it was probably a Halloween mask, but they got that while they were filing a police report
on other stuff.
on other stuff, because basically they had just been getting all of this harassment.
They also received live spiders and insects someone had ordered, and they showed up in their front door. They called the police. The police took it away.
Yeah.
So this all started happening fairly quickly in 2019. Tons of newsletters ranging from Heather's Irritable Bowel Syndrome News and the Satanic Temple. They also got porn and bondage stuff. And then there was also a Twitter account started throwing, her name's Ina, with expletive-laden taunts. So this was all building up, and they didn't know what was going on. The thing about the taxidermist was going to send him a small pig. But they followed to be sure. Thankfully, they did.
Yep.
Because the billing address didn't match anything. So the police obviously is taking reports and seeing this stuff happen. So the police is doing their job, and they're like, okay, this is weird. What's happening? They received more bizarre deliveries. A couple said one day it was a book for David called "Grief Diaries: Surviving Loss of a Spouse." So whoever is doing this harassment campaign is implying that your wife's going to be dead.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking like this is like mafia shit that's going on. This is like organized crime stuff. So finally, they basically had to, do security cameras. While they were putting in the security cameras they'd purchased, David was up on a ladder. They saw a dark-colored Dodge Caravan driving up their street. Black van with New York plates. A black van coming up on their street. Their van went by the house a couple times, was captured on security cameras. Later in the day, David noticed the same van pull out to follow him while he was in his car with his friend. A black van was following them. They called the police again. 3 cruisers rushed to their house. They were not able to take down the license plate on the van, and the police weren't able to track down the vehicle. So this is now in the realm of like, obviously, physical harassment, threats of violence. You see a black van, you don't know what the hell's going to happen. They're going to shoot you. They're going to assault you. Super intimidating, obviously. They started sleeping in different rooms, the couple, David and Ina.
Setting up carts with like baking pans on them, so if someone like entered through their
They'd
back
hear it.
door, it would make a it would make a noise.
There was a prank pizza thing that happened 4:30 a.m. in the morning. Someone ordered pizza, and the guy thought the guy could have a gun. He pulls up because it's probably an Uber Eats guy, or whatever. Pulls up in a car, and it's like just to scare me.
Now I feel and you feel bad because like the guy's scared. He puts his hands up and just puts the pizzas on the ground and walks away. Apparently that's what David said. And Ina points out something good. She's like, this is fucked up. She's like, we started doing this. It was kind of like trying to help. Provide tips to small businesses and things like that. And now these small businesses are being used against us. She felt bad. Now people are calling. It's not just harassment on them. It's harassment on the parts of the businesses that they're using too.
So it took a head. It was August 18th of 2019. David goes to the grocery store. This time a silver SUV started following him. So he drove him downtown. He was going to drive him to the police department. The SUV followed distance. David pulled over and parked across the street from the police station. As the SUV slowly drove past, he propped up the iPhone on the steering wheel and photographed the stalkers. He said, I was determined to take a picture this time. I just kept hitting the button. So now we get the full license plate number. Good on you, David. You got the full license plate number. The Natick police then quickly started to unravel the conspiracy. The vehicle tracked back to an eBay contractor who was staying at the Ritz, I guess the local Ritz there. This was eBay. Doing this.
This was
people
eBay.
working for eBay.
Actually working for eBay.
Working for eBay went after this couple.
eBay did this. That's insane.
Went after this old couple who just did a fucking online newsletter.
I have to keep saying that to myself. This wasn't like a seller. This wasn't like a problem through eBay. This wasn't like a beef between sellers that got out of control. eBay fucking did this. And Wenig, I believe, stepped down, and they said that this problem was a consideration for the reason why he was being replaced.
So the feds got involved with this. Forget that. The feds got
6 employees got fired. 6 actual eBay employees and 1 contractor.
The FBI got into this. this got serious. The fucking FBI going after eBay. Finally, it said everything stopped after tweets on September 6, 2019. So I guess they realized, oh, we're screwed. They're on to us now. We got to stop this. So this is where it gets to. In June 2020, federal prosecutors announced criminal charges against 6 now former eBay employees and a contractor. The company apologized to the Steiners and in a lengthy statement said it had conducted its own investigation that had resulted in terminating all the employees charged by the government, plus communications chief Weimer, who has not been charged. A communications chief, someone high up the chain, was allegedly coordinating this effort to fucking harass, like really harass, not just cyber stalk and harass in person this couple, a Massachusetts couple. The investigation also found that former CEO Wendig had made inappropriate communications, but did not have advanced knowledge of the harassment and stalking that we know of, obviously, because you would not put that on the record. Wendig was not charged, was allowed to resign in September 2019 with a compensation package worth $57 million. The Steiner scandal was a consideration in his departure, the company said. I'm not saying the CEO knew about this, but the directive has to come from somewhere.
Yep.
For this. You telling me all these employees went rogue on their own to do this, and spend money to do this and hire a quote unquote contractor? What do they hire, like a private investigator to harass this couple or what have you? Like, this is insane stuff. This is nuts.
Yeah.
I think this might be blowing up today when we're just recording this.
Yeah, I think I saw it trending.
This could be a movie. Like, you wouldn't believe if this was a movie if this happens. So we have the criminal investigation and they're fucked. A huge civil lawsuit's coming. I don't know how much money they're going to get out of eBay. It ain't going to be a little amount.
No.
I know that. They're going to get millions of dollars from eBay for this. This is insane. This is insane.
Yep.
Well, let's see. Wendig's lawyer said an independent investigation confirmed that Devin Wendig had nothing to do with and no knowledge of any of the activities alleged in Mr. and Mrs. Steiner's complaint.
Okay.
Although he is an inviting target as a former CEO, he did not know of, approve, or authorize the conduct and regrets what the Steiners experienced. So the communications guy just did it on his own? Basically acted like a fucking thug? Acted like just a thug to go after this couple? Like, what were they hoping to gain? Like, it's a newsletter. Like, you're a huge, like, they're not affecting eBay's bottom line. Like, you know how much money eBay makes? Like,
well,
what are you
like
looking
they
to
said
accomplish?
at the end. They said at the end of the day, they're still promoting people use the website. They're criticizing it, but the whole point of their newsletter is to essentially boils down to helping people sell stuff on eBay. It helps them use your service.
But like when we point out, rightfully so, and that the couple has done, that eBay doesn't push back against like people selling bullshit counterfeit stuff. We talk about that every other month. We're not affecting the bottom line of eBay at all.
No.
I doubt this couple really was. So like, it was someone that felt slighted, like, how dare they talk about me? And the reason why, people might think the CEO became involved, because the thing about the CEO is making so much more money, it's like, oh, well, screw them. Well, I'll show them. Like, if that's a thought process, these are psychopaths.
Yeah.
eBay CEO Devin Wendig earns 152 times that of employees. That's when allegedly this stuff happened. Like, that was a tipping point. So, my God, like, this is horrific.
Yeah, it's awful.
We're talking about a company with on the stock exchange, it's like a publicly traded company, eBay, that makes billions of dollars going after like a couple. It's nuts. There's a little more to the story, but we gave you the nuts and bolts here.
Yeah, go read it. It's a well-written article.
Boston Globe. Check it out. Google it.
Been all over the internet.
David said the vitriol towards us, where did it come from? I don't know, David. I don't know. Try to send you live spiders. Try to send you fucking horror masks and try to send you like dead pigs and sign you up to shit. It's insane. Sometimes in the past 2 years, I haven't been able to recognize myself. David told the Globe on the day after Cook was sentenced. Okay, Philip Cook, the former senior manager of security operations. This former senior manager of security operations for eBay's global security team was sentenced to 18 months in prison. One of the defendants. It was the first sentencing of anyone involved in that case. global security team. You're concerned about this couple. What the fuck is this couple going to do to your, your
They
like,
just wanted to be assholes.
you're fucking thugs.
They just wanted to be assholes.
You're thugs. You thought what are you fucking? What are you like a drug gang going after like you're like what the fuck are you doing? Going after these people? Like, yeah, this is nuts. I hope you enjoy that story because like when I read this, I couldn't believe when I was read through. That's why I said, Ian, you got to read this. And I was like, okay. The next day's like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's absolutely crazy. Well, and enjoy your retirement with millions of eBay's dollars, Ina and David. Holy shit.